Hi, welcome to Principles of Impact. My name is Ava Weitzman, and I am a professor of public management at the Romney Institute of Public Service and Ethics at Brigham Young University. This video is the first in a three-part series about your impact. The intent is to help you to capture your impact and communicate it to all the stakeholders you may work with. So this presentation is the first in a three-part series about measuring and communicating the value of your work to everyone around you. These principles, based both in strategy and evaluation, work at the individual, program, and organizational levels to capture and communicate the impact of your efforts. There are three parts to this series. The first of these is talking about using a meaningful mission to inspire and communicate purpose. That is going to be the aim of this video. The next two segments will include using a purposeful plan to link every activity to the meaningful mission and eliminating activities that don't really lead to those mission outcomes. The third segment will talk about using evaluation to demonstrate the effectiveness that you have achieved in carrying out your activities and accomplishing your ultimate mission. And this evaluation can be used to inspire innovative change and eliminate practices that don't work. Today, though, we're going to talk about meaningful mission. And the main focus of this is trying to figure out what the purpose is, not only for your organization, but for every activity that's carried out within that organization. So I like to tell this story. It's likely not true, but I think it's really illustrative of the power of a good mission, and even more so of a good mission statement. So the story goes that President John F. Kennedy was making a visit to NASA when they were preparing to send a launch to the moon. And the story goes that the building was mostly clear. They had scheduled the visit sometime in the evening so that most people were at home. But President Kennedy came upon a janitor who was working really hard and mopping the floors and just sort of vigorously going about his responsibilities as a janitor. And President Kennedy asked what this man was doing. And his response was, "I'm helping to put a man on the moon." And the power of this story is that a good mission statement, a good purpose, a good objective is something that really should motivate every activity and every person in every part of the organization. So what are the characteristics of a good, meaningful mission and mission statement? There are four that we're going to focus on today. And I also want to point out that some people will call this a mission statement. Others will call this more of a vision statement. It sort of depends on which school of thought you subscribe to. We're going to call them missions today. But if your organization has this, whether as a mission or as a vision, that's fine. What's important is that your organization has a statement that identifies your core purpose. So it should describe in long-term standards why your job or agency exists. So what is the core purpose for which you have gathered in this organization? A good mission also is aspirational and inspirational. It's something that's going to make people want to be a part of the organization. It's going to make them want to do their jobs every day. It's going to help them want to be a part of what you're about. The third key characteristic is that it needs to be succinct. Now, I've seen mission statements of all different lengths and vision statements of all different lengths. And really kind of a general rule that you can use is if it's not 20 words or less, it is too long. What you want is something short and inspirational and aspirational and pithy enough that people will be able to remember it and quote it back and make it part of their day-to-day life as part of this organization. If it's longer than 20 words, you're not going to be able to have that kind of outcome with people. So you really want it to be short. And the last thing is that a mission statement is a good mission statement if it guides action. In other words, when you're making decisions in the organization, you should be able to pull out this mission statement and it should guide your action. It should help you align resources, determine which activities belong and which activities do not belong as part of your organization. So those four characteristics are key for making sure that you have a good, meaningful mission statement. Here are some great examples of mission statements that I believe follow all four of the guidelines expressed above. So the USO lifts the spirits of America's troops and their families. The Humane Society celebrates animals and confronts cruelty. The Wounded Warrior Project honors and empowers wounded warriors. Oxfam creates lasting solutions to poverty, hunger, and social injustice. PBS creates content that educates, informs, and inspires. The March of Dimes helps moms to have full-term pregnancies and research the problems that threaten the health of babies. Monterey Bay Aquarium, the mission of that is to inspire conservation of the oceans. And the National Parks Conservation Association protects and enhances America's national park system for present and future generations. You can see that all of those are short. They're short enough to remember, but they're also really pretty specific about what the role of these organizations is. And you can see that if an activity or funding opportunity or even individual doesn't fit within that specific set of objectives, it's easy to make decisions about whether those activities are good fits or not good fits, or those resources are a good fit or not a good fit. So these really also not only inspire but help to make good decisions. All right, so you have a challenge. And your challenge is to write a mission statement for a position, program, or for your entire department or agency. So the challenge is to do this in 20 words or less. Some of you may already have one that's 20 words or less, in which case you can kind of revisit that and see if it still matches what you believe your core purpose to be, to see if there are any tweaks you can make to make it more aspirational and inspirational, and or to help it better guide action. In my experience, though, a lot of organizations really don't have these in place. And so your challenge today is to write a mission statement. You can do this for a job position. You can do this for yourself as an individual. You can do this for a program within your organization, whatever's within your purview that you are responsible for. I want you to take a minute and write a 20-word or less mission statement that will help you identify core purpose, be aspirational, inspirational, succinct, and guide action. Why are meaningful mission statements so important? The first reason is that they help us to remind ourselves why we're here and what we're trying to accomplish. It helps us to be inspired to work harder together, and to work harder toward a cause. As individuals, it can help us to feel greater fulfillment in each step we take toward achieving our mission and objectives, even if, like the janitor in the story, all we're doing is mopping floors. It's still important that we do our part to help achieve that mission because we believe in that mission so deeply. It also helps us to articulate our purpose and objectives to key stakeholders. Key stakeholders like donors and policymakers do not have the time and attention for lengthy mission statements. It's just too much verbiage. So it's really helpful to be able to tell them in a short, quick, inspirational, motivational way what you're about, and to determine whether or not there might be an alignment there with your goals and objectives and their goals and objectives. And finally, a good, meaningful mission statement is something that you can use as a tool every time you're making strategic decisions in your organization or in your program, or even for yourself in your job, that will encourage innovation and eliminate waste, because they're going to focus in on that main, primary, big mission objective. And that's going to help you whittle down all the things that don't actually contribute to that mission, that are really just distracting your attention and resources and the attention and resources from other people that you may be working with or managing. So as a reminder, this is the first in a 3-part series about capturing and communicating your impact. We talked today about a meaningful mission intended to inspire and communicate your purpose. The next 2 segments will talk about developing a purposeful plan to link every activity to that meaningful mission and eliminate activities that don't actually contribute to that. The 3rd segment will talk about using data-based evaluation to demonstrate your effectiveness in actually achieving that mission, which can be incredibly powerful in innovating change, eliminating practices that are demonstrated not to work, and also building a data-based set of evidence that you can use to bring to different stakeholders to share with them the kind of impact that you're having in achieving your mission. So I look forward to talking with you in those next 2 segments.